Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So we are here continuing to read from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 6, Chapter 2, Text 38. Does anyone remember what we read yesterday?
So yesterday we were reading that how Sukdev Goswami was telling Maharaj Parikshit that as soon as the Viṣṇudūtas, Ajāmila wanted to say something, but then Viṣṇudūtas just left the place. And then after some
Why
time...
did they just leave like that? Why did they leave just like that?
Because it was like, because they wanted to give him a second chance. That's why they left. So that, and that's what
And
he was
also,
given.
Yeah, and also they wanted him to glorify Krishna in a mood of separation. They wanted him to feel more separation, intense.
Okay.
That's why they left immediately.
Okay. And then he did that.
Yes.
And then he did that. He heard all the conversation between both the Viṣṇudūtas and Yamadūtas, and he got purified, and then he heard the glories of the name, fame, and the guns of the Krishna, and then he got purified, and then he was lamenting that, oh, how bad I was, what I have done, my parents were so old, and like about the wife, he lamented about the wife that, oh, she was so chastised and chastity, and she was so nice, and I left her, and the parents, they were so old, they needed me, and I provided them so much pain, and what kind of a man I am. And so he was just lamenting about it, and he was self-realization.
Yeah, very nice. Yeah, he was lamenting of all his sinful activities.
Yeah.
And
he was
Prabhupada
very
mentions
regretful,
that,
right? For his sinful activities.
Yeah, he was very regretful what he did.
And he is determined to engage in devotional service now.
Determined, yes. Determination. Yeah.
Right. And we also spoke about bhakti, devotional service is transcendental dharma, and material dharma is the four things we do: dharma, artha, kam, moksha. Right? And this will take you only, you can reach to heavenly planets.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes. And the bhakti can take you where?
To Krishna's, na? Krishna's loka, Golok.
Yes,
Golok
to the-
Vrindavan.
Yeah.
Yes.
Spiritual world.
Yeah, to the spiritual world, Golok Vrindavan.
Spiritual,
Yes, determination,
So
regret.
determination, regret.
Yeah. Yes, nice. Thank you, both of you. And
So
then Prabhupada
Viṣṇudūta
says,
gave Ajāmila a chance, right?
yes,
To save him from his, to
Yeah.
drag him out from this hellish, right?
yeah,
And so that he doesn't reach the heavenly planet, he can go straight to the spiritual, right?
yeah, he would have, to go, yeah. So he got a second chance because he's chanted the holy name.
Holy name of Narayan. Yes.
Yeah. And Prabhupada mentions that this regret, this lamentation that why we have done so many sinful activities, regret, lamenting about our sinful actions is very good for us also to advance in spiritual life. So
You also mentioned one very important thing, that like we are like the puppets in the hand of Maya.
Yeah.
So we should not only try to get ourselves, but also others. That was the most important thing you said. We should also try to give others Krishna Bhavnamrit, like the Krishna consciousness. We should also give it to others, not only ourselves.
Yes.
Yeah. So important. Thank you. Yes. The most important, give others also. What are a few ways that we could give Krishna consciousness to others? What could we do?
You could give them the Krishna Prasadam, the Krishna Prasadam that we offered. We can chant with them. We can give them the books by Krishna, by Srila Prabhupada books. We can give them. We can do Sankirtan.
Yeah.
And
yeah, very good. Very
maybe
good.
we
Giving
can.
them books. Harinam Sankirtan, giving books. Vachan. Very good. Yeah. Very good. Invite them to the temple if they are willing to
Yes.
come. Yeah, very good. Thank you. So let's continue. 38. Mamaham iti dehado.
Mam aham iti dehado.
Hitva mithyartha dhirmatyam.
Hitva
Mityartha
amithyarthati matim.
dhirmatim.
Dhasye mano bhagvati.
Dasye
Dase
mano
mano
bhagavati.
bhagavati.
Shuddham tat kirtanadibhi.
Shuddham tat
Shuddham tat
kirtan adibhihi.
kirtanadibi.
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Simply because I chanted the holy name of the Lord in the association of devotees, my heart is now becoming purified. Therefore, I shall not fall victim again to the false lures of material sense gratification. Now that I have become fixed in the absolute truth, henceforward, I shall not identify myself with the body. I shall give up false conceptions of I and mine and fix my mind on the lotus feet of Krishna. How a living entity becomes a victim of the material condition is lucidly explained in this verse. The beginning is to misidentify the body as oneself, because we keep thinking, I'm this body, I'm this body. That is our misidentification, because we are not the body, we are the soul. Therefore, Bhagavad Gita begins with the spiritual instruction that one is not the body, but is within the body. This consciousness can be possible only if one chants the holy name of Krishna, the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and always keeps oneself in the association of devotees. This is the secret of success. So, Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is giving us the knowledge that we are not the body, we are the soul. So, Srila Prabhupada is giving the secret now, how we can actually come to understand that we are not the body, but the soul. Because theoretically, okay, we all say it, everybody understands. He's saying, chanting in the association of devotees. That is the secret. Therefore, we stress that one should chant the holy name of the Lord and keep oneself free from the contaminations of this material world, especially the contaminations of lusty desires for illicit sex, meat eating, intoxication, and gambling. So, following the 4 regulative principles and chanting the Hare Krishna mantra. With determination, one should vow to follow these principles and thus be saved from the miserable condition of material existence. The first necessity is to become freed from the bodily concept of life. So the first thing that happens when we chant, Cheto Darpana Marjana, that's why chanting is the process that is given to us to understand that we are not the body, we are the soul. So following the 4 regulative principles and chanting the Hare Krishna mantra. Iti jata sunirveda.
Iti jata sunirveda.
Shana sangena sadhushu.
Shana
Shana
sangena
sangena
sadhushu.
sadhusu.
Ganga dwaram upeyaya.
Ganga
Ganga
dwara
dwaram
upeyaya.
upeyaya.
Mukta sarvanubandhanaha.
Mukta
Mukta
sarva
sarva
anubandhanaha.
anubandhana.
Because of a moment's association with devotees, the Viṣṇudūtas, Ajāmila detached himself from the material conception of life with determination. Thus, freed from all material attraction, he immediately started for Hardwar. So moments association with the devotees. Does anyone remember the verse from Caitaniya Caritamita?
Sarva Shastra kahe love matra sadhu sanga sarva siddhi hoye.
Sadhu Sangha, Sadhu Sangha,
Sarva
Sarva
Shastra.
Shastra.
Sorry. Love
Yeah,
matra
yeah.
sadhu sanga sarva siddhi hoye.
Yeah, that's right. Thank you. So now with the association of devotees, he's gotten this determination to firmly be established in devotional service, give up his material attachments. And so he's now gone to Hardwar. The word Mukta Sarvanu
Hare
Bandhana.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So the verse before it is also about how association with devotees brings determination, is it? What did that mean? The verse you just Neha just said.
Oh, Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Shastra Kahe. Lava Matra
Yes.
Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Siddhi Hai. That is
Yes.
that a moment's that all the shastras are glorifying the association of devotees, that lava matra sadhu sangha. Even a moment's association with a devotee brings all perfection to our life. Sarva siddhi hai. We get all perfection.
Okay.
Because it helps us revive our Krishna consciousness.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. So the word Mukta Sarvanu Bandhanaha indicates that after this incident, Ajāmila, not caring for his wife and children, went straight to Hardwar for further advancement in his spiritual life. So now, after reading this, are we going to say, okay, I'm going, bye-bye, I have to give up my family? What do you all say?
No.
You don't need to.
No, that's right. That's right. Because Lord Chaitanya says to us in Kali Yuga, what he says, you stay where you are, you do what you're doing, but you chant Hare Krishna, and whoever you meet, you tell them about Krishna. Yeah?
Yeah.
Always remember
So,
Krishna, never forget Krishna.
Jai. Yeah. Our Krishna consciousness movement now has centers in Vrindavan and Navadvip, so that those who want to live a retired life, whether they be devotees or not, can go there and with determination give up the bodily concept of life. So Prabhupada is inviting that those who are able to, those who can actually go and live in the dhams, he's saying, come and stay in the dham. One is welcome to live in those holy places for the rest of his life in order to achieve the highest success by the very simple method of chanting the holy name of the Lord and taking prasad. Thus, one may return home back to Godhead. We do not have a center in Hardwar, but Vrindavan and Sridham Mayapur better for devotees than any other places. The Sri Caitanya Chandrodaya temple offers one a good opportunity to associate with devotees. Let us all take advantage of this opportunity. So the Caitanya Chandrodaya temple, that is the Mayapur temple. Now, of course, the TOVP is coming. So we can all go to the dham and get energized and then come and spread the mercy. Go to the dham, get the mercy, come back to where we are and spread the mercy, give Krishna to others. Yeah, if we are not able to stay in the dham, we are able to, wonderful. Not, then give Krishna to others. Sa tasmin deva sadana.
Tasmin deva sadane.
Asino yogam asthita.
Asino yogam astita.
Pratyahritendriya gramo.
Pratyahat indriya gramo.
Yuyoja mana atmani.
Yuyo jamana atmani.
In Hardwar, Ajāmila took shelter at a Vishnu temple where he executed the process of bhakti yoga. He controlled his senses and fully applied his mind in the service of the Lord. Devotee, I'm sorry. The devotees who have joined the Krishna consciousness movement may live comfortably in our many temples and engage in the devotional service of the Lord. Thus, they can control the mind and senses and achieve the highest success in life. This is the process descending from time immemorial. Learning from the life of Ajāmila, we should vow with determination to do what is necessary to follow this path. So now Ajāmila is so determined. He's gone, he's staying in a Vishnu temple, he's determined to engage in bhakti, he's controlling his mind and senses and engaging in the service of the Lord. So Srila Prabhupada is also inviting everyone and anyone who's able to come and join the temples. Tato gunebhya atmanam
Tato gunebhya
Gunebhya
atmanam
atmanam
viyujyatma samadhina
viyujya atma
Yujyatma
samadhina
samadhina
yuyuje bhagavad dhami
yuyuje
Bhagavad
bhagavad dhami
Dhami
brahmani anubhavatmani.
brahmani
Brahmane
anubhavatmani.
Anubhavatmane.
Ajāmila fully engaged in devotional service. Thus, he detached his mind from the process of sense gratification and became fully absorbed in thinking of the form of the Lord. If one worships the deity in the temple, one's mind will naturally be absorbed in thought of the Lord and his form. There's no distinction between the form of the Lord and the Lord himself. So here, Ajāmila, he's in the temple, he's engaging in devotional service, he's controlling his mind and senses, he's all the time thinking about the Lord. So we can see the Lord has a form. Ajāmila is not meditating on anything void or on nothing, no. His mind, he's absorbed in thinking of the deity form of the Lord. Or one can think of the Lord in his so many forms, Vishnu form, Shyam Sundar. So there is no difference between the form of the Lord and the Lord himself. So when one engages in deity worship, then naturally we think, okay, let me wake up the deities. Let me offer food to the deities. Let me offer flower to the deities. Let me do aarti. So like that, deity worship helps us to think of Krishna. Therefore, Bhakti Yoga is the most easy system of yoga. Yogis try to concentrate their minds upon the form of the Super Soul Vishnu within the heart. But the same objective is easily achieved when one's mind is absorbed in the deity worshipped in the temple. So Srila Prabhupada is saying that yogis, they undergo meditation. And meditating, they are meditating on the Vishnu form, Paramatma's form in their heart. And so one who is engaged in deity worship is also in samadhi because he is also always thinking of the deity. So for example, the pujaris who are personally attending the deity, they have like always pending about the deity, always thinking, okay, let me sleep early because I have to wake up early, I have to wake up the deity. Then they have to offer something, then do Mangal Aarti, so like that, the pujaris, they're completely absorbed in the Lord. So in every temple, there's
Hare
a transcendental.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare- I just wanted to share my experience, because we've been, chanting so much and we've been, always thinking of his form while we are chanting now. Sometimes in the sleep, even while I'm sleeping, I'm getting the dream of flute. So just wanted to let you all know, maybe, it helps you all to think all the time. And then even in the dream, you may see, I'm just seeing flute many times during my sleep now. So
Very
just the
good.
flute, somebody is playing the flute, not really seeing who, but then I can see the flute. So maybe, you know, if you guys also chant, maybe this will really come even while you're sleeping. So this may help you to go more further. Just wanted to share this. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah,
you
Hare
for
Krishna.
sharing. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Regarding this, I heard Adi Gadadhar Prabhu said in one of his lectures for how to better your chanting. He said that when you sit in front of your deities, what you can do simply is that when you see the deity's beautiful hands, you can remember that story, that how he gave to the fruit vendor, how beautifully your Krishna gave those rice grains and they turned into, and he took the fruits. So while chanting, and when you're sitting in front of your deity, you know that Swaroop, that's in your mind because that's your deity. So every limb you can see and you can remember a story, like how his lotus feet, like how he 3 steps in the Vaman Dev, he took the whole world, and like how Radharani, how Lakshmi ji is always pressing her feet. So that is every limb you can see and you can remember a story and meditate in your mind and chant with that. Like how flute, like how he had such a big headache in his head, and how he asked Narad Muni to go and get some dust from the lotus feet of some devotees, and only gopis gave it, nobody else. So like that is how you will be able to chant in a loving mood more. This is what Adi Gada, I heard from Adi Gadadhar Prabhu. That's what he said. So it might help if we are sitting in front of deity and chanting then, or we can also remember our deity at that time. So that's how this might help.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. So by seeing the Lord during Aarti, by offering Bhoga, and by constantly thinking of the form of the deity, one becomes a first-class yogi. This is the best process of yoga, as confirmed by the Supreme Personality of Godhead in Bhagavad Gita 6:47, Yoginam api sarvesham mad katena antaratmana shraddhavan bhajate yomam same yukta tamo mataha. Of all yogis, he who always abides in me with great faith, worshipping me in transcendental loving service, is most intimately united with me in yoga and is the highest of all. The first-class yogi is he who controls his senses and detaches himself from the material activities by always thinking of the form of the Lord. So yoga, one who does yoga is called a yogi. So who's the highest yogi? Krishna is saying himself, the highest yogi is the bhakti yogi, the one who's engaged in transcendental loving service, one who's engaged in devotional service. That's the best yogi, Krishna is saying, the bhakti, bhakta, one who is doing bhakti. Yarhi uparata dhistasmyan
Yarhi uparata tasmin
adrakshit purushan puraha
adrakshit purushan puraha
upalabhyopalabdhan prad
upalabhyo upalabhyadhan
Vavande Shirasad Vijaha.
prak bhavande shirishad vijaha.
When his intelligence and mind were fixed upon the form of the Lord, the Brahmana Ajāmila once again saw before him 4 celestial persons. He could understand that they were those he had seen previously, and thus he offered them his obeisances by bowing down before them. The Viṣṇudūtas who had rescued Ajāmila came before him again when his mind was firmly fixed upon the form of the Lord. The Viṣṇudūtas had gone away for some time to give Ajāmila a chance to become firmly fixed in meditation upon the Lord. Now that his devotion had matured, they returned to take him, understanding that the same Viṣṇudūtas had returned. Ajāmila offered them his obeisances by bowing down before them. So now they've come again. Hitva kalevaram tirthe.
Hitva kalevaram tirthe.
Gangayam darshanadanu.
Gangayam
Gayam
Shanadanu.
darshanadanu.
Tadya swarupam jagre.
Tadya Swarupam
Swarupam
Jagre.
Jagre.
Bhagavad Parshvavartinam.
Bhagavad
Bhagavad
Parshavartina.
Parshavartina.
Upon seeing the Viṣṇudūtas, Ajāmila gave up his material body at Hardwar on the bank of the Ganges. He regained his original spiritual body, which was a body appropriate for an associate of the Lord. The Lord says in Bhagavad Gita 4.9, Janma karma chame divyam, evam yo veti tattvataha, tyaktva deham punarjanma, naiti mameti sorjana. One who knows the transcendental nature of my appearance and activities does not, upon leaving the body, take his birth again in this material world, but attains my eternal abode, O Arjuna. The result of perfection in Krishna consciousness is that after giving up one's material body, one is immediately transferred to the spiritual world and one's original spiritual body to become an associate of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Some devotees go to Vaikuntha Loka and others go to Golok Vrindavan to become associates of Krishna. So we can see here Ajāmila, he engaged in bhakti. And then now the Viṣṇudūtas have come to take him. It's time for him to give up this material body. And he's getting a spiritual body. He got a spiritual body. And he can go back home, back to Godhead.
Which verse was it? Oh, Bhagavad Gita verse what for this?
4.9. Janma
4.
karma chame divyam.
Then
Krishna is saying, one who knows the transcendental nature of my appearance and activities does not, upon leaving the body, take his birth again in the material world, but attains my eternal abode, O Arjuna. So Ajāmila knew. That's why he engaged firm determination, bhakti. He understood that the Lord is divyam, Lord is transcendental, his form is transcendental, his pastimes are transcendental, his appearance is transcendental. So with firm faith, with firm determination, he engaged in devotional service. And now he's gotten a spiritual body. He's perfected his life. The second chance that he got, he made very good use of the second chance. Now he's going back to Godhead. Sakam vihayasa vipro.
Sakam
Sakam
Vihataya
vihaya
Vipro.
Mahapurusha kinkare.
Mahapurusha
Mahapurusha
Kinkare.
Kinkare.
Hemam vimanam aruhya.
Hemam
Hemam
Vimanam
Vimanam
Aruhya.
Aruhya.
Yayo yatra shriyapati.
Yayo
Yayo
Yatra
Yatra
Shriyapati.
Shriyapati.
Accompanied by the order carriers of Lord Vishnu, Ajāmila boarded an airplane made of gold. Passing through the airways, he went directly to the abode of Lord Vishnu, the husband of the goddess of fortune. So the Viṣṇudūtas have come and they've gotten a golden aeroplane to take Ajāmila to the spiritual world. For many years, material scientists have tried to go to the moon, but they are still unable to go there. However, the spiritual airplanes from the spiritual planets can take one back home, back to Godhead in a second. The speed of such a spiritual plane can only be imagined. Spirit is finer than the mind, and everyone has experience of how swiftly the mind travels from one place to another. Therefore, one can imagine the swiftness of the spiritual form by comparing it to the speed of the mind. In less than even a moment, a perfect devotee can return home, back to Godhead, immediately after giving up his material body. So Prabhupada is explaining that how fast the mind is. Mind is so fast, you could be in Taiwan, but suddenly your mind could be in America, it could be in India. It's so fast, where it could take one day to travel. Taiwan to America, if you have to go, it will take you like a day to go there. And then, but the mind, you can go there in a moment. So Prabhupada is explaining that the spirit is even finer than the mind, so it can go even faster than the mind. So how fast is our mind? But spirit is even faster. So in a moment, the living entity can go back home, back to Godhead. The pure devotee can go home, back to Godhead, immediately after he gives up the material body. He just goes to the spiritual world.
Hare Krishna, Shilpa ji, just one question.
Yeah.
So is it because we have read in the 50th that he went to Haridwar and he took shelter in the Vishnu Mandir? So that's why it is written here that वो सीधे लक्ष्मीपति भगवान विष्णु के धाम गया, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
right. Because his Ishtadev was Lord Vishnu. He was always
Vishnu.
thinking of Lord Vishnu. So if one is thinking of Lord Ramachandra, then one will go to Ayodhya in the spiritual world. In the
Okay.
spiritual world, there is a spiritual planet called Ayodhya. One will go there. If one is thinking of, one is thinking of Krishna, one will go to Vrindavan, Golok Vrindavan.
Yeah, okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Evam saviplavita sarva dharma.
Evam
Evam
saviplavid sarvadharmana
Dasya patihi patito karhya karmana.
dasya
pati
patito karma karmana
karmana
Nipatyamano niraye hatavitaha.
nipatyamano niraye hatavritah
Sadyo vimukto bhagavan namagrihana.
sadyo vimukto bhagavat nama
nama
grihana.
grihanan.
Ajāmila was a Brahmin who, because of bad association, had given up all Brahminical culture and religious principles, becoming most fallen. He stole, drank, and performed other abominable acts. He even kept a prostitute. Thus, he was destined to be carried away to hell by the order carriers of Yamaraj. But he was immediately rescued simply by a glimpse of the chanting of the holy name Narayan. So he was actually very sinful. He was going to go to Yamaraj. That's the reason the Yamadūtas were waiting to take him. But because he chanted the holy name of the Lord, and simply by a glimpse of chanting of the holy name Narayan means Namabhas, not pure name, but Namabhas, a reflection of the name, a glimpse of the name. Offenseless. He chanted offenselessly, without any offenses. So Srila Haridas Thakur also says to Lord Chaitanya, Lord Chaitanya was asking him that how the people are going to get liberated. And Haridas Thakur says simply Namabhas can give one liberation. Inoffensive chanting can give one liberation immediately. Such is the glory of the holy name. And the pure name is Krishna himself. Get Krishna Prema. Nata param karma nibandha krintanam.
Nanta
param
param
krintanam.
nibandhanam
Amokshatam tirthapadanukirtana.
Mumukshatam tit pada anukirtina.
Kirtana.
Nayat punakarma susacchate mano.
Nayat
Nayat
punakarmasu
karmasu
sajjate mano.
mano.
Rajastamobhyam kalilam tato nyatha.
Rajastubhyam kalilam tato
Kalilam
anyatha.
tato niyata.
Therefore, one who desires freedom from material bondage should adopt the process of chanting and glorifying the name, fame, form, and pastimes of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, at whose feet all the holy places stand. One cannot derive the proper benefit from other methods, such as pious atonement, speculative knowledge, and meditation in mystic yoga, because even after following such methods, one takes to furtive activities again, unable to control his mind, which is contaminated by the base qualities of nature, namely passion and ignorance. It has actually been seen that even after achieving so-called perfection, many karmis, jnanis, and yogis become attached to material activities again. Many so-called swamis and yogis give up material activities as false, jagan mithya, but after some time, they nevertheless resume material activities by opening hospitals and schools or performing other activities for the benefit of the public. Sometimes they participate in politics, although still falsely declaring themselves sannyasis, members of the renounced order. The perfect conclusion, however, is that if one actually desires to get out of the material world, he must take to devotional service, which begins with Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu, chanting and hearing the glories of the Lord. So here Srila Prabhupada is saying that because Sukadev Goswami is saying that one who desires really liberation, one who really wants liberation should engage in hearing and chanting. Hearing from Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Sukadev Goswami is saying any type of pious activity or any type of knowledge or meditation is not going to help. So because Prabhupada is explaining that, we can see that sometimes somebody say that they have perfected their process, but again they come and act on the material platform. Now one may say, but these are good activities, opening hospitals or doing some welfare work or schools. It is very good. It's true, these are very good activities because we are helping others, but they will still keep us here in the material world. And if one is really liberated, then he's going to give the highest welfare to everyone. He wants everyone also to get out of the material world. He will give them Krishna and his holy name. So,
Hare Krishna. So this is about those, sannyasis who are in politics, but they are working for the welfare of the public, right?
yeah, but that shouldn't be the case, because if one is in the renounced order, then he has nothing to do with the material world. He's renounced.
Okay.
He should be engaged in
Pure
like
devotional service.
yeah, pure
Hmm.
devotional service.
Shilpaji, I just wanted to add something in this, that there is this hospital, Bhakti Vedanta Hospital in Mumbai, that is opened by devotee, and all the devotees are doctors and every staff is doctor there, the devotee there. So I think that hospital will fall apart because there is the pictures of Krishna, and when the person is really sad, and then they play the Hare Krishna Mahamantra recorders there, and right, that would be a
That's right.
different,
That's right.
right?
Yes, that's right. That's right. because they really make sure they've been given prasad,
Yes.
they've been giving Bhagavad Gita lessons. That's actually engaging the patients also in not only curing their physical disease, but also curing
Yes.
spiritual. You
Yeah.
know? That does not fall under category of ordinary hospital then.
Yeah. So that is different,
Actually,
right?
yeah, that's another way of
Yeah.
giving Krishna to people.
Krishna. Okay. Perfect. Yeah.
Yes, that's one more way that we can connect people to Krishna. Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. So in the Western countries, many young boys who are addicted to drugs and who had many other bad habits, which they could not give up, abandoned all those propensities and very seriously engaged in chanting the glories of the Lord as soon as they joined the Krishna consciousness movement. In other words, this process is the perfect method of atonement for actions performed in Raja and Tama, passion and ignorance. So Srila Prabhupada is saying that we can see practically that how hearing and chanting the holy name of the Lord actually works, because he's saying, look how these people were hippies, they were addicted, they had many other bad habits, but now because they're engaging in Krishna consciousness, they are engaging in hearing and chanting, they're completely transformed. They're transformed. So Prabhupada is saying that the best atonement one can do is take up Krishna consciousness. As stated in Srimad Bhagavatam 1-19, Tada rajastamo bhava kama lobhadayaschaye cheta eter anaviddham sthitam sattve prasiddhati. As a result of Raja and Tama, one becomes increasingly lusty and greedy. But when one takes to the process of chanting and hearing, one comes to the platform of goodness and becomes happy. As he advances in devotional service, all his doubts are completely eradicated. Vidyate hridaya granthis chidyante sarva samshaya. Thus, the knot of his desire for fruitive activities is cut to pieces. So by engaging in hearing and chanting, we will be able to give up our lower nature, lower modes of passion and ignorance. We can come to the platform of goodness, and we continue to hear and chant. And then our desire for fruitive activities can be cut. Bhagavatam is saying that's what happens when one engages in devotional service. As he advances, that vidyate hridaya granthis, that the tight knot which is there in our heart, tight knot of the desire for fruitive activities, that is cut to pieces by devotional service. And one can proceed to the spiritual world. Sorry, we went a bit over time today. Questions, comments?
Very beautiful. That's it.
Okay. So we'll stop here for today. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Thank you so much, everyone.